Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the King Not Queen podcast. My name is Nina, and I am your host. Let's just turn off that echo. There you go. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to my trailer. It was super fun to make. I really loved testing out the waters and seeing how everything's gonna go. I got a new dongle thingy because iPhones. They just take away all the important things like the headphone jack. So I needed to purchase a dongle so I could use my microphone on my phone instead of my laptop, because was that audio as crispy as it is today? I think not, people. So yeah, I'll just plug my YouTube channel real quick because that's where the behind the scenes of the trailer is. So go check it out. Type in just Nina King. It's a picture of me and I have little hearts on my face. It's that picture, and I have a lot of videos on there. Go check it out. Subscribe if you want to. Maybe sooner or later, I don't know, I'll start my own YouTube channel for this podcast. It depends if I want to edit and sift through a video and do all the audio engineering, because I have no skills with that whatsoever. But yeah, so last week it was my birthday. We're 17 over here. I can purchase my own rated R ticket. Who else is out here like that? I bet you are. And I'm just late to the party, I couldn't even buy a rated R ticket because I wanted to go see the Harley Quinn movie. I couldn't even buy my own rated R ticket at the movies because I was 16. But it probably wasn't that big of a deal. Come on now. It wasn't even that bad. I watched it. Why is it rated R? Just because there's violence? Whatever. But speaking of movies, I'm gonna try to start a segment on this channel. A segment on this podcast where I talk about bad movies. So it's gonna be called Bad Movie Review. Maybe I'll just put in a little sound effect here. So the first movie I watched, I took a suggestion from myself, because I keep seeing on what's it called, on TikTok, I keep seeing this song show up and people doing cosplay of this character from the Lorax, right? So I was like, you know what, let me rewatch this movie because it's been a good I'm pretty sure it came out 8 years ago. I'm pretty sure. I think it said 2012. So I was like, you know what, 8 years ago, I was 9 years old. What was I watching back then, So it was not on Netflix, so I went to another website that is definitely legal. So anybody who's listening to this that's part of the FBI, any police officer, it was a definitely legal website. I definitely watched this legally. But yeah, so I watched it. I didn't finish it because I turned it on at 10 o'clock last night, and then I started falling asleep as I was watching it towards the end. So we're just gonna go off what I did watch, and might I just say, I'm pretty sure, 95% sure, I went to go see this movie with my father. How did he sit through that? Honestly, how did he sit through that? I did not remember it at all being a musical. Who else remembers it being a musical? I thought there was just 1 or 2 songs. It was a whole musical. I do not remember that. There was a song, it wasn't every single minute, but there was a song every 10 to 15 minutes. I don't remember that at all. And I'm so sad that I didn't finish the whole movie, because my favorite song's at the end, that Let It Grow song. I needed to hear that. It was a cultural reset. A cultural reset. Let It Grow was a cultural reset, okay? Don't, I'm telling the truth here. But, so the song that was on TikTok, it's someone else's lunch. So, I was excited about hearing that. And let me just tell you, that whole, part of that was just so well directed. Good job, Illumination Studios. Who else remembers, the shift from the Illumination logo turning into the Minions, is it just me? It's kind of annoying. Like, when did that shift happen where the Minions, like, introduced every single Illumination movie? Like, when was that? I don't understand. But a lot of people, they're saying, like, a lot of bad things about the Lorax, and it's actually a pretty good movie. Pretty good lesson about global warming and deforestation, all that. And I think that Zac Efron and Taylor Swift did a great job there. Is it just me, or just, like, you can't tell Taylor Swift's voice? Like, it's like she doesn't talk that often, or, like, I'm not a big enough fan, but, like, when I heard her talk in the movie, I was like, that's Taylor Swift? Like, it didn't really, like, feel like it, you know what I mean? I was like, that's Taylor Swift? And Zac Efron, this man, I can't tell, he has such a range in his voice, because, like, for example, The Greatest Showman, his voice was so deep in that movie, and I get that the Lorax was, like, made 8 years ago, but, like, his voice was so high. So, like, I just want to hear him talk normally, because I feel like he might be deepening his voice, and I don't want that for him. It's Zac Efron. Zafron. That's why I call him Zafron, because that's his Instagram handle. So, in the end, for this segment of bad movie review, the Lorax for me gets an 8 out of 10. Alright? That's what it gets for me. It was pretty good. So, if you guys want to hear more of, like, these bad movie reviews, or just movie reviews in general, make sure to send your recommendations to my email. It's kingnotqueenpod@gmail.com. I'll repeat. kingnotqueenpod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. kingnotqueen@gmail.com was taken for some reason. I want to know who has that email. You know what? I'm going to email them. Oh my god, I should do that next time and give you an update. I'm going to email kingnotqueenpod@gmail.com. Sorry. I'm going to email kingnotqueen@gmail.com to see why they have my email address, because I hate that mine ends with pod. It just sounds dumb. But, okay, yeah. So send your movie recommendations to kingnotqueenpod@gmail.com. Okay? I already know the movie I'm watching next week, so just send me more recommendations for, like, the weeks after, because I'm very excited for the movie next week. Very, very. So, the main focus I wanted to do for this podcast, like, I was thinking of, like, what topics I could do. Hold on, my phone just, like, actually locked. And it's still recording? Ah! Oh my god. Is it still recording? Okay, my podcast is now available on another platform, but that's besides the point. It's only been 8 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for way longer than that. Okay, so anyways, my main focus for this podcast, like, so I was thinking about last week, I'm like, what even am I gonna talk about on here? Because it's like just like a limit of, like, well, what can I talk about? I haven't been through that many, like, things. So I was like, what's the things I've been through? So today, the main focus is gonna be embarrassing, like, crazy school. What was that? I don't know if you heard that, but that was weird. I think it was my headphone. Crazy school field trip stories, okay? I have, like, it's like me. I have, like, weird experiences on school field trips because I'm just, like, an introverted, awkward person. So, like, things just happen to me that, like, you just wouldn't kind of believe, or, like, I don't know, it's just weird. So I have, like, a list here, and I'm just gonna go through the list because it hasn't been a good experience on school field trips, let me just tell you. So when I was in 4th grade, right, so I went to a public elementary school from grades K through 4, and then I transferred to a charter school starting in 5th grade, and I've been there ever since, right? I'm not sick, I just have allergies, okay? Don't say I got COVID, okay? I am genuinely allergic, okay? So we went to, like, Jordan's Furniture. So if you're not from Massachusetts, which, is it just my ear? What is that? Okay. If you're not from Massachusetts, you won't know what Jordan's Furniture is. But basically, it's like this huge place where, like, they have, like, bungee jumping. They have, like, this place called Fuddruckers where, like, you get, like, burgers or whatever. And then they have, like, this movie theater, the IMAX movie theater. And, like, it's, like, crazy. Like, there's mad seats in it. It's, like, surround sound, Dolby system, speakers, and, like, it's, like, super 3D, like, 4D or whatever. So I've been there once before this experience. And I went to go see Oz, the Great and Powerful. And it was actually really good. I saw it with my dad. But when I was in 4th grade, we saw this movie. And it was, like, it opened up with, like, this, like, sound of the forest and, like, monkeys and stuff. So basically it's like a documentary. I'm like, really? Like, you took a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds to come see a documentary? Like, that's mad boring. We couldn't see something fun, but it was a good experience nonetheless. So when I was in 5th grade, they were like, guys, we're gonna go see a movie at Jordan's Furniture. So I was like, oh shoot, we out here. But at my school, the field trips are never normal, okay? Every single field trip, unless it's like the end of the year field trip, had some sort of ulterior motive where you had to take notes or remember one thing to write an essay about. Every single field trip that we took throughout the year, which I guess makes sense budget wise. But so we drove there, right? School bus, wherever. We were so excited. We walked into the movie theaters, got our little 3D glasses. I think they gave us popcorn too. And tell me why I was sitting down next to my friends and I heard this wildlife, bird twinkling, monkey screeching opening for the second time. It was the same movie. I was so mad. I was like, are you serious right now? Are we really watching the same movie again? Like, I was like, is this serious? So I was like, you know what, let me take a nap, because I've seen this movie before. I literally saw it less than like 10 months ago at that point. So I was like, is this real? And then tell me why. Even on top of that I already seen the movie, there was a fire at Home Depot, because for some reason there's a Home Depot attached to a Jordan's Furniture. So it was on fire. So it went off in the middle of the movie. I'm pretty sure they also started the movie over again. But anyways, the fire alarm went off. And we were like, what's going on? And then we had to like line up outside. I'm like, is this real? Like, at least I got out of the movie, but is this real? And tell me why. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Jordan's Furniture is cheap. Unless you want to sponsor me. But Jordan's Furniture is cheap. They were like, oh, to make up for this fire drill and interrupting your movie, you guys can keep the IMAX glasses. What? I was like, are you serious? That's it? We could have got a free ticket? It was just my 5th grade class. There's only like 100 something kids. They couldn't give us a free ticket. So we just, took home the glasses. We were all so excited because, like, we're 10 years old. And it was also that year that, like, 3D glasses, you pop out the lenses and they're mad cool. It was that year. So, everybody kept those glasses, and when Halloween came rolling around, they punched out the lenses and dressed up as a nerd. You know who you are if you did that. You know who you are if you punched out the glasses and made them nerd glasses. You know. You just know. I need like a tissue or something. Like, I actually do. Or allergy medicine. Okay, another movie experience was in 6th grade when we went to go see Jurassic World, right? It was at my favorite movie theater, Salem Movie Theater, the best movie theater out there. Like, it's not, like, seating is not high quality, but their popcorn, my guy, their popcorn was immaculate. They had, like, seasonings, like white cheddar seasoning, garlic parmesan seasoning. They had all different kinds of seasonings out there. Me and my dad love mix up the seasonings, ask them to layer the butter or whatever. So I was so excited to go there. Tell me why there was no access to the seasoning. And they gave us dry popcorn. Dry. It was so dry. So I was like, is this real? So we went to the movie theater. We were seeing Jurassic World. I don't remember if I already said that. But we were seeing Jurassic World. And I was a little scared, not gonna lie. Not gonna cap. because I am a scaredy cat. I don't like scary movies. So I told my advisor that, and that was the worst decision I've ever made in my life, because this woman had already seen the movie before and spoiled every single part. For what? She spoiled every single part. And I wasn't even like curling up being all scared of her. She was sitting behind me and told me every single part that was gonna happen. I'm not that scared that I need the whole movie spoiled for me. I'm not that scared. I honestly am not that scared to have the whole movie spoiled. I'm really not. So when she was whispering in my ear like, the T-Rex is gonna die. They're gonna fight. The raptors are actually human. Like, she was just like in my ear the whole movie. I was like, ma'am, please be quiet. I'm trying to watch. I'm not scared anymore. I'm not. So that was 6th grade. We're just a fraction through. But right now, we're going to take a little bit of a snack break because I only had 3 French toast sticks for breakfast. So I'm going to be back after I eat my snacks. But I'll tell you what I'm eating just in case they want to sponsor me next time. You know what that sound is? I need to go get a tissue. So there's a lot of things I need to do right now. But you know what that sound is, right? Little bites. I got the party cake muffins. I wish I could do some ASMR here, but I gotta head out because I gotta eat them, and I don't want you to hear me smacking on them. And then I also got this Poland Springs flip top water bottle. Hear that? Yeah. So I'm gonna have a sip of that and my party cake muffins and go blow my nose. Then I'll be back for parts 3, 4, 5, and 6 of this story of embarrassing school field trips. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, so I'm back from the snack break. It was pretty good. Really, Crow? I'm back from the snack break. It was really good. I ate those muffins in like 2.5 seconds. I also re-listened to what I just recorded, and I don't remember even saying any of that. Like, there's a whole memory loss when you just sit here and talk to yourself. So yeah, that's I'm just gonna leave it there. But so now we're on to like another story. So this is again 6th grade, right? And we went camping. We were the last class to go camping, like at that specific spot, I think, for that long, because we went for like 4 days. So I was what you call a go-getter. So basically every recess before we went, my team of go-getters would practice setting up our tent and stuff, and like, you know, practicing for like the real deal when we went to go actually camping. So you either had the option of sleeping in a cabin or making your own tent and sleeping in that. And of course, my extra self chose to be a go-getter. So I hate saying go-getter, like I sound stupid. But anyway, so yeah, I did that. So my tent, of course, I'm pretty sure mine was the only tent that had 3 people in it. Okay, this is gonna be a recurring theme throughout like this whole like story, like throughout this whole podcast, of me having bad sleeping arrangements every single time a school trip happens. So I'm not complaining at all. It was a really fun time, and my tent mates were fun. And I don't know how we squeezed into that little tent, but we were all tiny little people, so I guess that's probably why they made us do that. But yeah, so like there's a lot of stories from that. But one morning, like, we made breakfast for everybody. That was fun. And then like this dinner, right? So it was like lobster night dinner, and I don't like seafood. Also don't like scary movies, as we've already established. But yeah, so I don't like lobster. So the other choice, instead of having lobster, was to have like a burger or something, or a hot dog. But first of all, how did my school get all this money? We had like, I have to say, we had more than 10 lobsters. Like, there was a lot of lobsters happening. Like, what money? Where did they get this money from to buy all these lobsters? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So we had a ton left over. Let's just say like 6, right? And my tent, or like my group, was in charge of, sorry, the bus is back here? Jeez. So my group was in charge of like disposing of the lobsters. So they told us to go around. Mind you, I'm in 6th grade. I'm pretty sure I'm either 11 or 12 at this point. They asked us to go around to... What? Why does it sound like that? I hope that's not transferring over. They asked us to go around to random people's... I'm gonna take out my headphones. To random people's trailers and give them the lobsters. There was no adult supervision. It was just me and my friend going around being like, hey, do you guys want lobsters? And they were like, yeah, sure. Why do these 11-year-olds have lobsters? We don't know. We actually don't know why we have so many lobsters. And we came back, we had like 2 left, so we gave away a lot of them. I just find that so crazy. Like, why were we doing that? We literally were talking to strangers, knocking on their doors to deliver lobsters. What? And who cooked them? Like, I don't even remember. Like, I can't. Okay, so another like trip that we went on was in 7th grade, and we went to New York. Again, we were the last class to go there. I'm pretty sure we were the last class to actually do that trip. So basically every day there was like an itinerary or whatever, and then we slept in a hotel in New Jersey, and then we'd travel to New York every day. So yeah. So my sleeping arrangements there were fine. We did get in trouble for staying up too late. Did you hear me? For staying up too late. It wasn't even that late. It was like an hour after the time we were supposed to go to bed. And our chaperone told us we could stay up and talk. It wasn't like we were partying around in the room. We were literally sitting in our beds and just talking. And she told us, she was like, guys, you are in trouble. You're gonna have a silent breakfast. And literally, I had to sit at a table with my roommate. We had to sit at a table and be silent. We couldn't talk. And my other friend walked past and was like, hey guys, we were like, sorry, can't talk. Like, really? And we had to sit there and eat breakfast in silence at a like the date tables, or like there's one person sitting across from each other. We had to sit there away from everybody. It was so embarrassing, and everyone was just looking at us and being like, ooh, Nina got in trouble, like, and I was just like, really? Like, and they probably weren't, but that's just me in my head. But like, literally, it was so embarrassing. And then another thing that was embarrassing is that my dumb self forgot to bring chapstick. And you wouldn't think like it'd be that bad, like just put on Vaseline. Didn't bring that either. So put on lotion. Lotion doesn't work. I tried that the whole trip. Tell me why. We went to the day we went shopping, like around New York. We were at like this store, right? I literally looked at the chapstick. It was inches from my hand when I was checking out at the store. I looked at it. I said, oh, I need that. And I didn't grab it. Tell me why I didn't grab it, please. I need someone to tell me why I didn't grab it. I was so disappointed in myself for not grabbing it. And that was like the Thursday, I think, or it was like Wednesday we went shopping. So I literally went that whole time having no chapstick. I was so mad. I wasn't so mad. I was just like scarred. Literally, physically, I was scarred. When I went home, my whole mouth was so dry from putting on just watery lotion all week. Putting on watery lotion on my lips. And my lips were actually scarred. Like the mustache line of my mouth was scarred for like so long. It took so long to get it off my mouth because I went a week without chapstick. So the week without chapstick challenge, do not attempt, because it is painful. It was painful. And to look at myself in the mirror and see just the effects of not wearing the chapstick for that long, it was just so bad. It was just so bad. One of the other things, I have a lot of notes about that trip, because that trip was something else, let me just say. Wait a second. Okay, yeah. Well, that was my stomach. So the last thing from that trip, we went on the subway, so we had to use public transportation, because they don't have enough money to have a bus out there. So we took the train, and so like in movies when like people hop trains, so I didn't think that was real, because like in Massachusetts, like, people don't do that, like, on the subway. Like, I don't even know how to open the door. So when I went to New York, I was blown away when a man with a box of candy came rushing. This gust of wind came rushing in, and he walked in and said, "Hey, anybody want candy? I got Sour Patch Kids, Swedish Fish, I got Pringles, and I got chips." And I was like, is this real? Is this real? Like, I was like, he actually walked in the train. I was like, wait, you can do that? And he was trying to sell his candy. I'm like, go get your coins, sir. But we're a bunch of 11-year-olds here with like 3 chaperones. It's not happening. It's really not happening. And then he just like turned around. He was like, oh, nope. All right. And then he turned around and left the train car. I just found that so bizarre. Like, did I say I was 11? I was probably like 12. I just found that so bizarre that, like, we actually did that. Like, we actually did that. We were on the train, and this man came in, and it was just crazy. I think he was singing, too, to be honest. He might not have been there, but whatever. Okay, on to the next. Like, so basically, every single year, there's an end-of-the-year trip. So that last one was 7th grade, right? So this year, 8th grade, it was like a road trip. They kind of ran out of money, let's be honest, because it was supposed to be an actual road trip, but it was mostly like a road trip to New York again, in New Jersey. And I'm not complaining because it was a really fun time. We went to both Canopy Lake and Six Flags, so I can't really complain. And I didn't even pay, I think it was like $70 or something for the trip. So it wasn't really that bad. So, again, another bad rooming situation. I had 4, like, partners or whatever, right? No, there was, what am I even saying? Okay, so you know, like a normal hotel room, 2 beds, like 2 queen beds, right? And usually they have a pull-out couch. Ours didn't have a pull-out couch, and we had 5 people in our room. 5. So, we, like, what? And the bed, like, wasn't big. It was a queen, but it was definitely not big enough to have 3 13-year-olds sleep in the same bed. Like, it wasn't that big. So we told our chaperone, like, dog, what's going on? We got 2 beds, we got 5 people. What's going on? How come we don't have a pull-out couch? Like, what's happening? And we told them multiple times. We stayed there for 2 days, I think, at the hotel. It was either 2 or 3 days, and we told them every single night, like, we only have 2 beds, and they didn't do anything about it. So one of us every night had to sleep on the floor, and I felt so bad. I slept on the floor the last night. I felt so bad. Like, literally, it wasn't even like we had to, like, make like a pallet or whatever, but like, you paid money to be here, and I can't even get a bed. Like, I couldn't even get a rollout bed or anything. No, dog, that ain't how it works. I was very angry about that. That was one thing. And then we went to Six Flags, and so I like roller coasters, and I really like roller coasters. And my group was just like a mess. It really was a mess. I didn't know. I knew I was like friends with one person in my group. Everyone else, like, I knew who they were, obviously, but like, I was like, and our chaperone, we were literally in the water park for 2 hours. And like, I'm not at Six Flags to be at the water park. I can be there, especially not during that. But like 30 minutes, maybe hour max. But 2 hours at the water park, a girl was so mad because I really couldn't go on the water rides. Like, I didn't want to, and I physically could not. I'll leave it there. But I could not go on the water rides. So it was so boring. I just want to sit there and tan in the sun. Who wants to do that? I want to be on rides. I want to be on the Batman. Like, I want to be on something besides, like, this stupid water ride. And also, on top of that, he was like, are you guys ready to leave? We were like, yes, we're ready to leave. And we missed our lunch. What? How is he not keeping track of time? I'm honestly not surprised. But literally, our lunch was at, like, let's just say 1. we got out of the water park at like 1:30, my guy. No, we got out at like 2, and we went to like the spot. We were supposed to have lunch. It was supposed to be lunch on like for free. Like we didn't have to pay for it. They were giving us lunch, and we had all our meal tickets. And they told us that we were late, so now we had to go buy our own lunches. And I don't even think. I'm pretty sure I didn't bring money. Or like I didn't bring that much money. So I'm like, dude, I want to be here and buy souvenirs and blah blah blah. Not my lunch that I was promised to have. It was like, I don't know what the lunch was. I never even asked anybody what the lunch was. I was so mad at this man. I was like, really? You couldn't keep track of time? You couldn't? Really, dog? I was so mad. That was like the worst experience at Six Flags. Even we go like every year basically, except for RIP this year, but we've been every year in high school. And then one of the other things we did when we went on the trip is we went to like a zip line place, and I thought I was just out here for some reason. So I thought I was doing pretty good, right? There was an instance where I forgot to unclip my carabiner, and I was like, I was on the zip line. I was safe on it, but you're supposed to take it off before, and it was attached, so I was kind of like awkward on it. And also I had to basically jump off a ledge to get off of like the thing, and like it caught you because you're attached to like the line. But it was so scary like the first few minutes because you're just free falling. For what? Like why weren't there stairs? But there was one point where I tried to do this course, and like I think only 2 people like from my school completed it. But it was like this course, and you literally had to like climb up like this like thing of like cylinders. And also, if you fell off, what was gonna happen? Like I wish I asked, but I felt so bad because I was holding up the line because I was so scared. Because I didn't want to do it because it was so scary, because I went on it for like 2 seconds. I climbed up 2 pegs and I couldn't do it because like it required so much strength to climb up, and I was like, I just can't do this. And when I saw the person who completed do it, I was like, what? I was so mad though because I really wanted to be on, it was like the black level course. Like I wanted to be up there so bad. Sorry, there's something in my mouth. What is that? I'm sorry, that was like really gross. I really wanted to be on that course, but it was too hard. So then I had to like jump off a tree. It was something like that. Like their ways of exiting the course were so like strange. I was gonna say bizarre again, and I should really just stop while I'm ahead. All right. So then my last like story. Hold on. Let me flip. Oh, I just cut that off perfectly. Okay. So my kind of last story from embarrassing school field trips is the ski trip that happens every year. So the first year I went was 6th grade, and then after that we didn't go, and then we started going every year since 9th grade. So we're in 6th grade. You know me, again, I'm 11 years old. Not even 11. No, I was 11. 11 years old, right? Learning how to ski, okay? You brought a bunch of 11-year-olds to a ski mountain. Does that even make any sense? Wouldn't you want to bring like 8th graders at least? I think the 8th graders were there, but like why would you bring 11-year-olds skiing? Like that is so dangerous. And it ended up being so dangerous because there were multiple incidents that happened on that trip where people were hurt. And like my body was out of control. I went on like the big hill like twice, I think. No, I went on it once. My body was out of control. I was coming down so fast down that hill, I thought I was actually gonna die. And like when the bus trip back, like, oh my god, it was crazy. Like everyone had an injury, or everyone was like emotionally impacted by that trip. Everybody remembers it. Everybody remembers that trip. So when we went back in 9th grade, you know, I thought I still had it, right? So, I did not have it because it had been 3 years since I went, which makes sense why I didn't have it anymore. So I tried going down the bunny hill without lessons. Start yelling when you see where I've made my mistake. I went down the bunny hill with 0 lessons at all because I thought I remembered. And once I got to the top, I realized how steep it actually was. Wow. I can't tell if that's feedback, so if there's like weird things that happen, I'm sorry. But I was up and I was like, wow, this is really steep. And when I started to go down, once again, I lost control. And it was very embarrassing because I almost slammed into the teachers that like marked you off at the bottom of the hill. So sorry, teachers, that I almost killed, even though you're probably not listening to this, but I'm sorry. Yeah, so I basically had to go back and do the lessons. Embarrassing. And I also took sticks, like the ski poles or whatever. Again, red flag. That was a mistake because they were just flailing around when I tried to go back up there again because I don't do well with the sticks. And this weird guy tried helping me. I literally had to escape him. He kept following me. One of the teachers, and I see him every year since then, he kept following me like throughout the whole day. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you so much for your help. And when I went back up to the top, he was still there trying to help me. I'm like, sir, you're being creepy, sir. Please stop. And he did, and he did. But like I see him every year, and he keeps looking at me, so I think he remembers. So then we went 10th grade, right? So at this point, I'm 15. 15, all right? I don't know why I'm saying my age. I think you could deduce that. But anyways, so I'm a sophomore, and I'm there, and I do my me and my friend do the lessons. Not really. We don't really do the lessons because we remember because we literally went last year. So the year before that. So we escaped the lessons, right? And one of the guys that worked there, hey Connor, if you listen to wow, that's not even a word. Hey Connor, if you're listening to this, this is you. But there was an instructor there, same as Connor, and he literally had no idea what he was doing. Like, they told him, all right, Connor, you're gonna be instructing the kids here. And he was like, oh, wait, sir, what am I doing? What am I doing? Connor, these children's lives are in your hands right now, and you don't know what your job is. So it was very funny, and we keep wanting to find him like every single year we go. So he was like teaching us, and we kind of like walked away, and when we were on the conveyor belt like going up, he was like helping people at the bottom of the hill. So it's like the magic carpet, quote unquote, and like you just put your skis on and it brings you up, right? And he was like, oh, you guys are ready already? He was like, you guys are like finished the lessons already? We're like, oh yeah, we remember from last year, blah, blah. And he was like, all right, then send it. Me and my friend were like, what? Because like that's like a thing, like we like sometimes say, like it's just like a thing, and we didn't think he was gonna say that. So he was like, all right, send it. We're like, send it. We're like, wait, what? Blah blah. So yeah. So then we've been trying to find Connor for 2 years. I think he's missing. So he has sunglasses and a ski helmet. So Connor, if you're out there, we're still looking for you. So that was last year, and I went on a lot of times, and I also developed a knee problem. So my knee was aching that year. When I got on the bus, let me just tell you, my knee was gone. My knee was demolished. And then this year, there's like a crazy story every year we go skiing. Like something weird or something funny always happens every year. But this year, oh god, I wish I posted this video on my YouTube channel. I didn't end up posting it, but these kids fell down the hill, and like I didn't know that we could go on others trails, but they went down the trail that's right below the ski lift. Does that sound safe to you? That does not sound safe. What if someone's ski falls off on your head? Like, that doesn't sound safe. So they were going down this steep hill, and they fell, and like all their skis fell off. It was so scary, and I was like, oh my god. And not 5 seconds later, my friend, my dear friend, was on the same hill, and I was like, you need to get off this hill right now because you are going to die. Please, I don't want you to die. And she already fell, and I was like, please, you're close enough to the top, you can walk up. Please don't die on me, please. And when we went back up the next time I went with her, there was blood on the snow. There was blood, and I was just like, wow, this is not a good trip. And once again, everybody remembers that trip. Everyone knows that something, at least one bad thing that happened that year. This is why you don't take teenagers skiing, because something bad is gonna happen. And I'm not manifesting anything, Lord, but something happens every year, and something memorable happens every year, and that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up here because I've been talking for a while, and I really don't want you guys to get bored, but you probably are bored already and probably fast forwarded. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I really like talking, obviously, and I really like telling stories. And those school field trips were a mess. But yeah, send in your own submissions of what you want me to talk about or what segments you want me to do on the podcast. And send it to that same email that I said earlier, kingnotqueenpod, P-O-D, @gmail.com. Once again, kingnotqueenpod@gmail.com. You can send in whatever you want there, anything you want to talk about, any of your own embarrassing field trip stories. And also, yeah, again, the movies you want me to review. Make sure you tune in every Thursday to the KNQ podcast. I am trying to. This week was very hard scheduling wise, but I'm recording this on a Tuesday, so I really hope I can keep up. Tune in every Thursday. I don't know if I just saw a ghost. I'm a little scared. But yeah. So bye.